Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. It's nice
Good.
to, if we can call this meeting, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here tonight chatting with you.
Yeah, we're excited to have you too. So, did I say your name correctly? Silvana?
You said correctly. Yes,
Perfect. All
Silvana.
right. So we were just chatting about weather. Are you somewhere where you're getting hit with crazy weather?
No, I was. I was. I don't not as crazy as Texas, the way
Right.
it's been, that they are without, power and things like that. But we took a trip, we passed by Georgia, and then we went to Chattanooga, and then we went to Gatlinburg. And it was kind of quite an adventure because we had not planned, to go to all those places. And then there was a wind advisory, and it was like, whoa, things start turning kind of different. But
Yeah, it's been
we made
insane.
it back. We made it back.
Well, good. Glad to hear that. Yeah. I was just saying, thinking about everybody in Texas, it's crazy I'm from Chicago area, so we get hit like this every year. And then to see people in
Mhm.
Texas saying all this snow, it's insane. The amount of snow and power and weather. And I know here it's just been extremely cold. It's been snowing for what feels like forever. We finally didn't have a snow day today, or like we had a snow day, but because of cold, but the sun actually came out. So we're doing well. But
It's nice.
yeah. So we're so glad to have you here on ESGI Live, and we want to know more about you. So tell us about your path as an educator, your journey into this career, and what you've been up to in the world of education.
Well, I started my career in education in Brazil. I am originally from Brazil,
Awesome.
and I was teaching English as a second language for children and adults. So then I got my education at Florida International University. I got my bachelor's in early childhood education and my master's in curriculum instruction with curriculum development. So I did some teaching for adult ed,
Okay.
but I am currently a first grade teacher.
Okay. All right. And where are you at? Where are you teaching?
I teach in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. Okay. So you get the warm weather right now. You're
Well, Jacksonville is not that warm.
no. Well, what do you say? Not that warm. I want to know.
Exactly. I know for you there, you're in Chicago, so yeah, for me,
Yeah.
any 30s, and if it's 28, 30s, 39, I'm like, oh my God, oh my God.
So yeah, we had negative 30 the other night with the wind chill.
Ooh,
It was it was bad here. But
I wouldn't open the window.
no, we don't open the windows, and we actually have to have like all of our water pipes are on drips right now, because if you
Ooh,
don't drip your water pipes can freeze. So it's insane. Yeah, it's nuts. So we've been lucky
yeah.
though. We haven't lost
I,
water, we haven't lost power. We're doing okay.
yes, that's a blessing. I'm staying in Florida though.
I bet. So first grade, let's talk about that. What's your favorite part of first grade? What drew you to first grade?
Um,
Why that age level?
well, I taught kindergarten, and then I
Awesome.
moved up to first grade. I looped with my group like 2 years ago,
That's
right? So
cool.
I don't have that group anymore. So I have a different group of kids now. But that was like an amazing, it was my best experience in teaching,
Awesome.
I could say. So I like the little kids because they are little,
Yep.
but with amazing brain.
That's right.
They're just little, but do not underestimate them because they're little.
That's true.
Yeah, so I love it. I love the possibilities that we have in teaching them and how they to watch them develop, to watch them grow.
Uh-huh.
So that is the fun part of it, to teach them, to see, how they develop, to give them, ownership, and to see how they lead as young children. It's really fun to see that. My class has a lot of teaching ownership and a
Right.
lot of accountability amongst the students. So I have fun with that, and I believe they have fun too,
Oh,
because
I'm sure.
they want to be leaders, right?
Right.
So that is something that I really enjoy.
Well, and they're with you, so of course they're having fun. And you did what I said I would never do. So I taught kindergarten for 13 years, and I said I would never go up. I would never do it. I didn't want to go to first grade. It's like that just didn't appeal to me. I loved kindergarten and first grade too, because like you said, number one, they're little, but they're fun, and
Mhm.
every day is something new with them. Like every day is a brand new adventure in those grade levels. So Yeah, but I've never gone to first. I am working currently with one first grade student. Other than that, in my private practice that I run, I have some 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and then one first grader that I'm working with, and I love it. Every day is just a blast. Like just hanging out with kids, right?
It is. And I understand, you and I understand other educators that say, oh no, I'm not getting out of kindergarten. Because after I got out of kindergarten, I was like, what have I done? Right? I was like, this is like a whole lot of work over here. It's like, where's the fun?
Right.
We're still small. We need to have some fun.
Yep.
Right? It's like all this bunch of assessments and things. I was like, and then thank God for ESGI, because I was already like sinking.
So that's a good segue into how you found ESGI.
Yes,
so,
that's
so
exactly how I found ESGI.
Right. You're one of our...
I asked Greg.
Okay.
In one of his groups, Kindergarten Smorgasbord.
Yes, yep.
And we were still in kinder, and we had to do an assessment, screening with the kids. And we were doing screening like the old-fashioned way. Everybody had their paper, each teacher had their paper. And I was like, it has to have another way to be doing this.
Right.
So I went into his group and I started asking questions, say, hey, we're doing, we have this situation and we're doing screening. Is there any other way that we can gather data in, like, with technology, in something that is more automated, more practical? So he said, try ESGI. And that was it.
Never looked back.
No. And then I passed to all my coworkers and I said, listen, for real, try this. Let's try it. And we all of us got an account and we all did the assessments with ESGI. We did the entire screening for the kids with ESGI. And the teachers were like blown away. They were like, wow, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. This is another world, because, we had that old-fashioned paper, which, nothing wrong with it for the ones that want to do it that way. But if there's a better way and faster for you to gather a lot of information, that's ESGI, definitely.
Well, and
I love it.
And the fast, not only just in the ability to do it, but the ability to get the results, right? Like the instant results that you get. And I'm so glad you used the word screener, because I think a lot of people hear ESGI and they've heard it maybe at a conference or something, and they think it's just for, a report card assessment or just for this. But when you say screener, I don't think people know that it's used for, that's why it says easy progress monitoring, because it's used all the time. This isn't a one and done assessment. This is, you use this, you drive your instruction. You use this, you drive your instruction. And
exactly. I was in a school where we had to have data chats. And the data chats that we had to have, we prepared our own PowerPoint for our class. Each teacher would prepare their own data, and we needed graphics and things like that. And ESGI had all those graphics, beautiful graphs that we could show all the progress for the kids, along with something that I absolutely love, which are the letters for the parents. So when you do the assessments, when you assess the kids, it's generated this letter, this automatic letter that you can you change their names and you can add some information, and I love that. And then I could provide that professional letter with like a review of what that kid knew, what they were missing, because that's what, parents want to know. Okay, what do I need to work on with my child? And that letter, that was generated according to the test that we were doing with the kids was like amazing.
Yeah.
And so professional, that I could hand to the parents.
Well, and the one thing you said that sticks out to me right there, even as a parent now too, is that when you could see what they know and what they don't know. Because for the longest time, even when you were doing pencil and paper assessments, and I was too, I used to haul around like one of those file crates. I'd take it everywhere I go so I could pull the kids out in the hall, and we'd go to the computer lab, but they'd be pulled from their computer to work on those pencil and paper assessments that took so long. But then you put all that time into it, you put together a progress report, and it just tells the parents a score or a grade or this or that. They never know what to work on. And I know when I first started using ESGI, our school actually adapted it as our kindergarten report card. That became our full-blown report card, and parents were blown away. They're like, thank you. Not only are you telling me that they need to work on sight words, you're telling me what sight words they need to work on. And
exactly.
And there's
more
nothing
specific
out there that does that. Yes. Yeah. So what's next in first grade for you? First of all, are you in person? Are you virtual? What's your year like?
I am virtual.
Okay.
I've been virtual the entire school year.
Wow.
So, yes.
How's that? So I shouldn't say how's that going, but how have you adapted? Because I know a lot of schools still are. Where we are, we're running hybrid models. Like every school seems like they're doing it differently, but it's been back and forth and back and forth. Actually, our school, when I say our school, the school my wife teaches in and where our kids go to school, just celebrated the 100th day of in-person learning. Like we've been in person making it work, but we are also a smaller community, so we have the ability to do that, right? We're a small school. So how did your school, and more importantly, how did you adapt from being thrown into it last spring to having a full year of virtual this year? How has it worked? How did you adapt?
I am not gonna lie, it was brutal.
I thought you were gonna say I haven't adapted.
I haven't adapted because I am a people person. I like to talk to people. I love, especially, and if I am a teacher, it's because I love children. So
Right.
I want to interact with the kids. I want to do classroom transformations. I want to do fun stuff. I want to teach in an engaging and fun way. And I'm not saying that you cannot do that virtually, but not the same way.
Exactly. It's not the
Because
same.
the way it's not the same. It's not the same. You can be as savvy as you want, but relationships, that face-to-face interaction, it's priceless.
Right.
There's nothing that can substitute such a thing. But we do what we do best. We try to make it happen, right? And I'm very honest with the parents. Say, listen, this is what's going on. I am truly a face-to-face teacher, and we're going to give each other grace, and we're going to try to make this happen over here. Okay, the best as we can. It's like I'm not going to be fronting like, oh no, it's no. It's like, hey, I'm trying over here my best, so let's make that happen together as a team. Together, we are stronger.
That's good. Well, it is. I mean, I know I've seen my wife deal with it too. So she's a second grade teacher. She has students in person in the morning, and then the kids go home for the afternoon, and she has to teach those kids in other subjects virtually. But then on top of that, has kids who are full-time virtual that she has to teach one-on-one in the afternoon. So I've seen her work harder than ever before, just like I'm sure you and your staff are working harder than ever before, just like teachers across the country are working harder than ever before this year.
Never
So
before.
I applaud you for what you're doing, because I'm not in that position right now, but I'll be the first to admit that I don't know that I could do it, because I'm like you. Like I want to be dancing, singing in the room with those kids, so it is different for sure.
One day I started singing, and the kids were looking at me. I was like, okay, everybody's going to be muted, and you're going to listen to me, because if we were in the classroom, that's what I was going to be doing. So I'm going to do it here anyways.
That's awesome. I love it.
And I started singing. They were looking at me. I said, okay, now you are on mute, but you sing over there because I can read your lips.
There you go. I like that. So have you found a way to use ESGI in this new space? How have you used ESGI?
Yes,
Have you made it work for you?
Immediately, because thank goodness that I was already using ESGI when I was in person, so it wasn't hard to just keep using it during virtual. So for my small groups has helped it tremendously, because there is a section that you can make your groups. You can group the kids, you can put the name of the groups and things like that, because there is a list of kids that you add to ESGI, to the software. And from that list, you can group the students. I can make my assessments there, because, I have to screen them. I have to go over. There are certain assessments that I have to do individually to track their growth and to be able to present that to the parents. We have very often teacher-parent meetings, and they want to know, how's my child, growing? What else can I do, right? So then for that, ESGI helps tremendously, because I have all of those assessments that I can either get from my district or I can make my own. And that is super helpful.
That's
because
awesome.
now that we are online, I had to make my assessments.
Right.
That is a tool that has helped a lot to make the assessment, to track just that particular student. And it's something that it has to be done often.
Mm-hmm. See, and that's the thing with I mean, ESGI is a blessing in the classroom, but I think if you're in a complete virtual classroom right now, yes. I don't know there's another tool that you could do this with, right? Like I don't know there's no tool where you could share your screen and do an assessment that quickly with that good of results, right? Like I don't know what else is out there, but I'm gonna guess there's nothing like it. So yeah, definitely in the classroom virtually. I was actually last spring when it was all starting, I was doing some testing with the virtual side of it with students, just kind of as like little guinea pigs to see how it worked. And I was amazed at how easy it is to just share your screen. And whether you're in a Google Meet or Zoom or whatever type of platform you're using, share your screen and you could be just Teams. Like you would be.
I use Microsoft Teams.
Okay, all right,
I share my screen and the kids still can see it, and it works perfectly with any platform. It works well.
Right. So someone asked a question. I'm not sure if they were asking you or asking about my wife's story that I told, but they asked about periods and how many you teach. So in your first grade setting, are you teaching full day? Are you on and off with kids? How is it working?
No, it's just like in school.
Okay.
I start 8:30, and I have a schedule, and I teach live all day.
Really? Okay. And all the kids are on at the same time. It's not like
everybody's on at the same time. I have the small groups. I have a small group schedule that I share the screen. I send to everybody. Everybody can print. I usually advise them to print because, people, not just little kids, but everybody's going to ask me the same question.
Yep.
What am I supposed to do? Even though we've been doing this from the beginning of the year. So I said, I recommend you to print your colorful schedule and refer to it so you know.
Right. So I got to ask about that then. So that's good to know because I've talked to a lot of teachers who teach it virtually, but they're kind of off and on. They have some kids here, some kids there. So you're running your regular schedule.
Regular schedule as if I were in the classroom.
So then on those small groups,
there's lunch in small groups. Yes, we do. So this is how we start 8:30 with the morning meeting, and we all participate in the morning meeting, things like that. And then from morning meeting, I teach math in the morning and I teach reading in the afternoon.
Okay.
So then after morning meeting, we transition to math, and I give them breaks. Because it's all day, so I give them 5-minute break. I'll say 5-minute break, go ahead, go to the bathroom, do whatever you want. And I don't have this thing, may I go to the bathroom? I usually tell them, could you please, you don't have to ask me to go to the bathroom. You stay at your house.
Yeah, your own house, right?
You in your house, just go and come back. But come back. If I see that it has passed 5 minutes and you're not back, I'm sending a dojo to your parent. Okay, that's just to let you know.
I like that.
Right? Because sometimes it was that camera has been off for a long time. And then I tell them, you know what? Why I work with children is because I love seeing your beautiful faces. Can you turn that camera on so I know you then I'm not talking to myself?
That's good. I like that.
Because it's first grade. Let me tell you, I have a buddy that is so funny. He's on his hoverboard.
During class.
Hoverboard, or he goes over there and I can see them way over there. He's playing with his toys and stuff. I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave this dude alone because I'm gonna ask him a question. If he's able to answer my question, I'll leave him alone.
Right.
Because everybody learns in a different way. I'm not about this guy.
See, and that's what makes you the amazing teacher you are. That you're just allowed. I mean, kids, if they're going to be in their own environment, then maybe they learn in their own way, right? And
their own way.
Just like they learn in their own way in the classroom.
Exactly. So it's for me, it's like this. If you're climbing on the wash machine, I'm going to ask you to come down, because then you give me some anxiety at that point. And I am all the way over here, you're over there, and I cannot, I can't text your mom, but who knows if she's going to see my message right away to go rescue you from falling from top of the wash machine. There's everything. There's everything you can imagine in this thing, So it's oh my gosh, you can write a book after this thing.
Oh, totally, yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned the student on the hoverboard, too, because it is interesting how they are paying attention and we might not think they are sometimes, right? I was working with a little boy one-on-one through another company that I work with. he is actually living in Barbados. So I was tutoring him from my home, and he's in Barbados, and we were working together. He's a first grade student, and there would be times during our hour-long class where he would just start running around in circles, and I'd ask a question. He's like, "Yep," and I'd be like, 3 + 2, 5, and he would just be running. I'm like, "Hey, he's paying attention. He just needs to move. He just needs to move."
Exactly. And I love music and movement. I love movement. So then I can relate. I think like we need to be able to read the room, to feel the room, to feel their expression, even though they are in the little boxes, they are in the computer, but I can sense when it's just becoming heavy, and that's time for a brain break. Even if that brain break was not on the schedule, but let's go on a brain break.
Right.
So it's like now that it's Black History Month, right? So I made some brain breaks with Aretha Franklin, James Brown. Wow,
oh, that's awesome.
Feel good. Out of a sudden, then they look like she lost her mind. Okay, let's dance. Get up. Let's move. You know, it is what
I love that. That's awesome.
They look. I was like, let's go, and then I get up and I move too, so they can see. Because if I don't move, they are watching me. They don't move.
Right.
If I get up and I start dancing, I can see that more kids are dancing.
Well, that's
so it's
good.
like it's a mirror, right? So it has to. You have to think that, okay, I'm going to try my best to make this work for me and to make this work for the children, to make this work for me too. It's exhausting. It's a long time. You know, I have to follow directions because that's the way the county wants me to teach. But at the same time, I have to think of their well-being and my well-being. It's a long time in front of a computer screen, so we need to take some breaks. The breaks need to be, you know, fun. I don't mind if you're eating as long as you're muted.
Right.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah, that would get to me. That would get to me. But I agree the same way. If they need to eat, if they're comfortable in their, you know, like whatever they're comfortable, like let them learn.
I think this experience has taught how controlling we are, and in some ways we don't need to be, how certain things bother us, and they are little things. It's a situation that has taught me as an educator a lot. I say, okay, what is really bothering me? Why can this kid eat while we're doing this?
Right.
Okay, you cannot be chewing on my ear, but I'll mute everybody. Go ahead, have your snack, you know? Drink your drink and let's go. But you're not going to be slurping or making all those sounds. Just mute, and I'm good with it. Want to go to the bathroom? You go. You don't have to ask me or interrupt the entire flow to say, can I go to the bathroom? No, you just go and come back. Just go. And this is something, for example, in my face-to-face classroom, they would not ask, but they had hand signals for bathroom or whatever. And I had captains that, because I cannot be 100% looking at each and every child.
Right.
So if I am helping somebody, you have your hand over there showing that you want to go to the bathroom, I'm over here, and you really need to go. So I had the captains to say, you can go.
It's awesome.
You know? So then the kid is not waiting forever, doesn't have an accident or anything like that. But now you're in your house, just go, come back, and move on with the day. You know?
That's amazing. Silvana, the world needs more educators like you, no doubt.
Thank you so much.
We do. And I would love to chat with you more. We're going to need to bring you back on an Insta Live in the future, because I know there's going to be a ton of questions about your schedule. You know, you're doing something. I know a lot of people are teaching virtually, but it's so different. So I'm sure there's going to be more questions about what you're doing. In the meantime, how can people find you? How can they follow you? What's the best place to stay in touch with everything?
My handle on Instagram is Mrs.S for success, number 4 for success. And you can find me. I'm mostly on Instagram. I do have a Facebook, but I'm not there that often. But you can definitely send me a DM, and I would be glad to share the schedule with you or any information you may need.
Awesome. Well, we definitely need to get you back on to do another one, because I want to chat more. I want to learn more about you, learn more about what you're doing. Until then, everybody, if you listeners are wanting to try ESGI free with no credit card required, head to esgisoftware.com and sign up with Silvana's promo code, which is 4SUCCESS, the number 4.
For success.
The number 4 success. And when, I don't say if anymore, when you decide to purchase, because you're going to decide to purchase because you're going to love it,
because
you will save off your first year. So I know you said the same thing. Once I tried it, like there's no if, it's when. You're like, yep,
yeah,
I'm going to buy
and it's been about 4 years.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I've been using it since 2012, I think, when I first got it. So, and I haven't looked back. So yeah, everybody, ESGIsoftware.com. Free trial, no credit card required. You should try it free for 60 days. Silvana's code is the number 4, success, all one word, and you'll save off your first year. So thank you so much, Silvana, for hanging out with us.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll need to do this again for sure.
Definitely. It will be a pleasure.
All right, have a good night.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.